In the scorching deserts of southern Iraq lie the ruins of humanity's first great mystery, not the pyramids, not Stonehenge, but something far older and far more unsettling. Around 4500 BCE, in the land between two rivers, civilization didn't slowly evolve, it erupted into existence, fully formed, complete with writing, mathematics, astronomy, law codes, and architectural achievements that seemed far beyond their time. The Sumerians appeared almost overnight, carrying knowledge that took other cultures thousands of years to develop. No primitive beginnings, no gradual climb. They simply emerged. And what they left behind challenges everything we think we know about human history. Their clay tablets, their symbols, their stories each. One whispers a truth that mainstream archaeology often avoids. But before we explore the forbidden knowledge hidden in their writings, there is something you need to understand. The Sumerians themselves claimed they didn't create their civilization. They said it was given to them by beings known as the Anunnaki, those who from heaven to earth came. So were the Sumerians telling the truth? Or is there another explanation behind humanity's sudden leap into civilization? Let's dive into the evidence. Picture this. You're an archaeologist in 1922, digging through the Iraqi desert. You expect to find primitive pottery? Maybe a few crude tools. Instead, you uncover sophisticated mathematical tablets, detailed astronomical charts, and legal codes more advanced than anything that would appear again for thousands of years. This is exactly what happened when Sir Leonard Woolley excavated the ancient city of Urund. It stunned the archaeological world. Think about this for a moment. In 3500 BCE, the Sumerians already had the wheel, writing, bronze metallurgy, and complex irrigation systems. Meanwhile, Egypt was still using stone tools with no written language. Europe consisted of scattered hunter-gatherer groups. The Americas had no permanent settlements. While most of humanity was living in simple huts, the Sumerians were building multi-story temples, performing surprisingly advanced medical procedures, and tracking the movements of planets with mathematical precision. They had schools, libraries, a postal system, brewing recipes. They invented beer and even early forms of democracy. But then comes the strangest part of all, the Sumerian king list. This ancient tablet records kings who ruled not for decades, but for thousands of years. Over 500,000 Sumerian cuneiform tablets have been discovered, more written records than all other ancient civilizations combined. But here's the shocking part. Only a small fraction has been translated. The rest remain buried in museum storage rooms, their knowledge untouched, their secrets still sealed in clay. Some say it's due to lack of funding or not enough trained translators, but others believe the real reason is far more unsettling. Because among these tablets are records so advanced, so impossible for their time, that they challenge everything we know about the origins of human civilization. Take the Enigma Enlil series, for example, 70 tablets of astronomical data. These ancient texts predict lunar eclipses centuries in advance with near-modern accuracy. They describe planets invisible to the naked eye. They outline orbital cycles that modern science confirmed only after the invention of telescopes. Somehow, the Sumerians knew the exact orbital period of Venus, 584 days. They knew Saturn had rings. They even referenced distant planets like Uranus and Neptune, long before humanity officially discovered them. How is any of that possible? In astronomy wasn't there only forbidden knowledge. Their medical tablets describe surgical procedures that wouldn't appear again until the 19th century: cataract surgery, skull operations with documented survival rates, herbal anesthesia, and antiseptic techniques using alcohol. They performed brain surgery with bronze tools, and people survived. Their mathematics was equally astonishing. They used a base 60 system far more complex and versatile than our base 10 system, perfectly suited for divisions that even modern mathematicians admire for its elegance. One tablet, Plimpton 322, contains Pythagorean triples calculated 1,000 years before Pythagoras was even born. This wasn't primitive math. It was advanced trigonometry, the kind used in engineering and astronomy today. But the most controversial tablets of all are the ones that describe human origins: the Etrahasis epic, the Eridu Genesis, and the Epic of Gilgamesh. These ancient texts don't portray humanity as evolving naturally. They describe humans being created in Jannad by the Anunnaki. According to the tablets, the gods grew weary of mining gold, so they created workers by mixing their own essence with that of an existing creature, a hybrid, a lulu, a word that literally translates to mixed one. The tablets describe a creation chamber, failed experiments, early prototypes that did not survive, multiple attempts before a successful human model emerged. It sounds less like mythology and more like ancient genetic engineering described by people who lacked the vocabulary for what they were witnessing. But the tablets revealed something even more shocking: where the Anunnaki came from and why they needed gold so desperately. The Sumerian astronomical knowledge isn't just impressive, it's impossible. Take cylinder seal VA 243, over 4,500 years old. In its corner is a star surrounded by 11 dots. Mainstream scholars call them decorations. But researcher Zecharia Sitchin pointed out something astonishing. If the central star represents our sun, those dots align perfectly with the planets of our solar system, including bodies the Sumerians should never have known existed. Uranus, Neptune, and even Pluto appear to be represented planets we didn't officially discover until thousands of years later. Yet there they are, carved in ancient stone. The Sumerians spoke of a mysterious 12th planet called Nibiru. How did they know any of this without telescopes? The Molopin tablets, copied from even older sources, contain detailed star catalogs with over 60 constellations. They tracked Venus for 21 years with such precision that modern astronomers still use their data. Their Venus tablet predicts heliacal risings with 99.2% accuracy. Their measurements for the synodic periods of Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn are not approximate. They are identical to modern calculations. Their ziggurats weren't just temples. They were observatories aligned with extraordinary precision, some matching the accuracy of the Great Pyramid itself. They understood the Saros cycle, the 8 yen-year cycle of eclipses, thousands of years before modern astronomy formalized it. And most astonishing of all, they knew about the precession of the equinoxes, Earth's slow 25,920-year wobble. The Greeks discovered it in 127 BCE. The Sumerians recorded it in 3000 BCE, with a far more accurate number than Hipparchus ever calculated. To observe precession, you need centuries of continuous observation, precise instruments, advanced mathematics, and multiple observation sites. The Sumerians supposedly had none of these yet. They mastered the heavens as if the sky itself had been explained to them. And according to their tablets, that's exactly what happened. They wrote that the Anunnaki taught humanity astronomy, mathematics, and writing. Enki, their god of wisdom, is said to have given humans the knowledge of the heavens and earth. The tablets describe schools where humans learned to read the stars and measure time because the Anunnaki needed workers who could coordinate seasons, track cycles, and manage complex operations. And all of it was for one purpose: gold. The Anunnaki came to Earth in search of it, and what they intended to do with that gold leads to the most shocking revelation yet. Chapter 5. The Anunnaki Mystery. The word Anunnaki means those who from heaven to earth came. They appear throughout thousands of Sumerian tablets described not as mythical spirits, but as beings with names, ranks, families, and specific duties. Their hierarchy is laid out clearly: Anu, king of the gods; Enlil, commander of earth operations; Enki, chief scientist; Ninma, medical officer; and Inanna, the warrior and pilot. These weren't abstract concepts. The tablets describe them with technical clarity. According to the ancient texts, the Anunnaki arrived on Earth roughly 450,000 years ago. Their arrival is described with vivid detail, their boats of heaven rising on pillars of fire, shaking the ground, filling the sky with thunder. It sounds less like mythology, and more like someone trying to describe a rocket launch without modern language. Their first base was established in the Eden plain between the Tigris and Euphrates, Eden, Eton. Their first city was Eridu, said to be built by Enki, who came from the waters. Archaeology confirms Eridu sits along what was once the ancient Persian Gulf coastline, a perfect landing site. Why did they come? The tablets are blunt: gold. Extensive gold mines in southern Africa, dated by modern researchers to as far back as 100,000 years. Match stories from Zulu legends describing sky gods who came to mine gold and created the first workers. According to the Atrahasis epic, the Anunnaki needed gold because Nibiru, their home planet, was losing its atmospheric protection. They used gold to repair it. As fantastical as this sounds, modern science now uses gold nanoparticles for spacecraft, shielding, radiation protection, and even proposed atmospheric cooling. The Sumerians described this purpose thousands of years before Naz. Mining eventually pushed the Anunnaki laborers to rebellion. The tablets say they refused to continue the heavy work. So Enki and Ninma proposed a dramatic solution: create a primitive worker. The tablets describe mixing clay of the earth with the essence of the gods, purifying it in a creation chamber, and implanting the embryo into birth goddesses. 14 attempts failed before a successful hybrid was made: the Lulu Amalu, the mixed worker, humanity. Human DNA contains anomalies: 223 genes with no evolutionary pathway, sudden appearance of language-related genes, HAR1 brain development genes, and the mysterious fusion of chromosome 2, a fusion so precise that many geneticists describe it as intentional. The Sumerian tablets record Anunnaki scientists performing creation experiments, describing procedures strikingly similar to fertilization, embryo implantation, and surgical birth. The first humans they named Adamuanti. The parallels with the biblical Adam and Eve continue: a protected settlement with 4 rivers, a forbidden gift of knowledge, an expulsion caused by disobedience, and a flood that nearly wiped humanity out. The Sumerian flood account predates the Bible by over 2,000 years, including instructions to build a boat with upper and lower decks, sealed in pitch. Geological records show massive flooding across Mesopotamia around 2900 BCE, exactly when the tablets say it occurred. After the flood, the Anunnaki taught humans agriculture, mathematics, writing, and laws. Kingship, according to the tablets, descended from heaven. Some Anunnaki interbred with humans, producing demigodsy code in the biblical Nephilim. Old newspaper articles from the 1800s even report giant skeletons across North America, many mysteriously disappearing after being sent to the Smithsonian. Around 2000 BCE, the tablets say the Anunnaki left Earth, returning to the heavens. They left their knowledge behind inscribed in tablets, preserved by priests, embedded in ancient cities, and they left a prophecy: they would return when Nibiru completed its orbit. If their cycle is 3,600 years, then depending on when they departed, their next return could be millennia ahead or much sooner than expected. Modern astronomers searching for Planet 9 have found evidence of a massive planet with an elongated orbit beyond Neptune. Its characteristics eerily match ancient descriptions of Nibiru. Whether coincidence or confirmation, it has reopened the Anunnaki debate. The mainstream insists it's all mythology, but the tablets contain knowledge. The Sumerians shouldn't have had scientific facts, historical accounts, and engineering descriptions far beyond their era. So the question remains: were the Anunnaki real beings, advanced humans, gods, alien visitors, time travelers? Whatever they were, their fingerprints are everywhere in our myths, our DNA, our ancient structures, and our collective memory. The tablets don't tell us everything, but they tell us enough to know that humanity's origins are far more mysterious than we've even taught. And the mathematical genius they left behind reveals an even deeper secret. Chapter 6. Mathematical Genius of Sumer, the Sumerians. Didn't he just have mathematics? They had mathematical sophistication that wouldn't be matched for 3,000 years. Their base 60 number system is still used today. Every time you check the time, you're using Sumerian mathematics. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 360 degrees in a circle, all base 60, all Sumerian. But why base 60? It seems arbitrary, overly complex, until you realize base 60 is perfectly divisible by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 20, and 30. Our modern base 10 system is only divisible by 1, 2, 5, and 10. Base 60 is mathematically superior for complex calculations. Then comes Plimpton 322, discovered in the early 1900s. It sat untouched for decades before anyone understood what it truly was. In 1945, mathematicians realized it contains Pythagorean triples, number sets that satisfy a squared plus b equals c squared. The tablet lists 15 of them, perfectly calculated, 1,000 years before Pythagoras was born. But in 2017, researchers discovered something even more astonishing. Plimpton 322 ISNT, just a listed SA trigonometric table more accurate than modern trigonometry. It uses exact ratios, not approximations. Modern trigonometry relies on irrational numbers like pi and the square root of 2. The Sumerian method is actually more precise for certain calculations. Another tablet, IBS 7289, calculates the square root of 2 to 6 decimal places with 99.9999% accuracy. They achieved this using iterative approximation methods that wouldn't be formally developed until the 17th century. Their astronomical mathematics was even more advanced. They calculated planetary positions using techniques identical to what we now call Fourier analysis, a method only officially developed in the 1800s. Babylonian astronomers were tracking Jupiter's motion using trapezoidal graphs and calculating the area under curves. That is integral calculus, supposedly invented by Newton and Leibniz. Yet the Sumerians were doing it nearly 4,000 years earlier. They solved quadratic equations, cubic equations, even systems of linear equations. One tablet describes a problem. I have subtracted the side of my square from the area, and the result is 870. What is a side? The ancient solution walks through every step. Take half the coefficient, square it, add it, take the square root, then add the half back. It's the quadratic formula 4,000 years before algebra was supposedly invented. They calculated compound interest, they understood exponential growth. Their geometry enabled architectural marvels that still stand today. The ziggurat of yore is built with perfect 3-4-5 right triangle proportions at every level. They used a golden ratio in temple design more than 2,000 years before Euclid described it. Their cities were planned with grid systems aligned to the cardinal directions within 1/10 of a degree. Their water engineering required complex volume calculations, flow rate measurements, and conversions across standardized units. Their measurement system was so precise that weights found hundreds of miles apart match with 99.8% accuracy. They invented double-entry bookkeeping 5,000 years before it appears in Renaissance Europe. Their temple records showed debits, credits, balances, and fiscal year reports. Modern mathematicians are still uncovering Sumerian breakthroughs. Papers published in recent years reveal algorithms for prime numbers, number theory, geometric progressions, arithmetic sequences, and massive reciprocal tables that functioned like ancient calculators. 2 divided by 7, they simply multiplied by its reciprocal, a number they had recorded thousands of years earlier. And this leads to the haunting question: how did Bronze Age farmers develop mathematics more sophisticated than medieval Europe? The tablets themselves say the knowledge came from the Anunnaki. Enki, the god of wisdom, taught humanity numbers, measurement, and calculation. Was this mythology? Were the Sumerians recording exactly what happened? Their mathematical genius allowed them to build engineering achievements that modern builders still struggle to explain. Chapter 7. Engineering marvels that defy explanation. The Sumerians built structures that shouldn't have been possible with Bronze Age technology. The Great Ziggurat of Ur, built around 2100 BCE, still stands 4,000 years later. More than 720,000 baked bricks, each perfectly fired, perfectly sized, and perfectly placed, form a structure that once rose 100 feet into the air and weighed over 50,000 tons, built in just 5 years. Modern engineers estimate the project would have required 1,500 workers, advanced logistics, precise surveying, and sophisticated project management. Yet the Sumerians did it with copper tools, no iron, no steel, and no machinery. Each brick was crafted by hand, molded from clay and straw, dried in the sun, then fired in kilns reaching 1,000 degrees Celsius. Many bricks even carry maker's marks, ancient quality control stamps identifying the workshop that produced them. But the true engineering genius is hidden underground. The ziggurat contains a complex drainage system of channels, weep holes, and waterproofing layers that still function today. They sealed the entire structure with the same material we use for waterproofing in the modern world. Their foundation extends 15 meters deep, deeper than modern buildings of similar size, and between brick layers, they embedded red mats that acted as shock absorbers during earthquakes. Modern engineers call this space isolation, a technology supposedly invented in the 1970s, yet the ziggurat of Ur has survived countless earthquakes while modern structures in the region have collapsed. And this was just one building in a city full of engineering marvels. The ancient city of Ur had a complete sewage system with underground pipes, settling tanks, drainage into irrigation canals, and both public and private toilets. Meanwhile, medieval European cities, 3,000 years later, were still throwing waste into the streets. Their water supply system was equally advanced. They built aqueducts, purification basins, distribution networks, and mechanisms for controlling hydraulic pressure to deliver water evenly throughout the city. Their irrigation network stretched for thousands of miles with precisely engineered gradients, flow control gates, overflow channels, and systems for managing silt. Their entire canal system extended nearly 17,000 kilometers, irrigated 40,000 square kilometers of farmland, and supported 500,000 people operating continuously for 3 millennia. They invented canal locks long before China or Europe. Their sluice gates allowed boats to navigate elevation changes with astounding precision. Ur even had an artificial harbor connected to the Euphrates by a 20-kilometer canal, complete with stone docks, loading ramps, and vast warehouses. Their ships used advanced waterproofing, sewn plank construction, and sail technology that wouldn't appear in Europe for 2,000 years. Their road systems featured gravel foundations, drainage ditches, mile markers, and rest stations. Their bridge foundations used underwater caissons, a method supposedly invented by the Romans 2,000 years later. Their surveying tools included plumb bobs for vertical alignment, water levels for horizontal planes, calibrated measuring rods, and sighting devices for angles. The precision they achieved is staggering. Perfect 90-degree corners within 1/10 of a degree, walls that deviate by only millimeters, bricks uniform to within a single millimeter, and structures aligned to cardinal directions with near-perfect accuracy. Modern laser measurements confirm tolerances that challenge contemporary construction practices. Their kilns reached 1,200 degrees Celsius, hot enough to produce glazed ceramics and early glass. Their glazed bricks required advanced chemistry, and their bronze metallurgy used copper-tin alloys with exact ratios, low-wax casting techniques, annealing treatments, and surface hardening methods. Their bronze tools often contained the optimal 10 to 12% tin needed for maximum hardness and workability. They even invented glassmaking around 3500 BC, a process requiring sand heated to 1700 degrees and precise control over chemical additives to create color and clarity. They left behind architectural plans carved into clay tablets, complete floor plans with dimensions, elevation drawings, construction sequences, and material specifications. These resemble modern blueprints, complete with scale and annotation. Their project management tablets list work assignments, material deliveries, progress updates, and quality inspections. They organize labor into specialized crews with shift rotations, productivity quotas, and even performance bonuses. One tablet records, team of Yanamu, 47 workers. They documented accidents and enforced safety standards. One record states, A worker fell from the third level due to rope failure. All ropes must be inspected daily. The foreman is fined. The Code of Hammurabi even enforced structural accountability. If a builder constructed a house that collapsed and harmed the owner, the builder paid with his life. This created a culture of engineering excellence unmatched for thousands of years. Evidence suggests they used levers, ramps, rollers, and possibly early pulleys to move stones weighing more than 10 tons. Their quarries show systematic extraction methods, transport routes, and quality grading systems. Their temples and ziggurats were aligned to solstices, equinoxes, and specific stars with extraordinary precision. Some structures channel sunlight into inner sanctuaries only on particular celestial events. Recent studies reveal that their temples were designed with acoustic engineering that amplified sound, created echo patterns, and produced resonant frequencies that intensified ritual ceremonies. And so the question arises, how did they achieve such precision without steel tools, modern surveying equipment, computer modeling, or powered machinery? With tools simpler than what a modern apprentice might use, they built structures that have lasted for 1,000 years, while our own buildings are designed for a lifespan of 1 or 2 centuries. The tablets say their engineering knowledge was a gift from the Anunnaki. They describe gods teaching humans how to lay foundations that would endure forever and how to align temples with the heavens. Was this mythology, or were the Sumerians describing exactly what they witnessed? Because what they built was extraordinary, but what they understood about the cosmos was even more shocking. Chapter 8. The Cosmic Knowledge. The Sumerians possessed astronomical knowledge that seems impossible for their era. They mapped the entire visible sky, cataloging more than 1,500 celestial objects, and many of the constellations we still use today, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Capricorn, come directly from their star lore. In total, they identified 66 constellations, 37 of which survive in modern astronomy. They even invented the zodiac, dividing the sky into 12 sections based on their sophisticated base 60 mathematics. But the real mystery begins with something they should not have been able to detect at all: the precession of the equinoxes. Earth's axis wobbles like a spinning top, completing one full cycle every 25,920 years. The shift is subtle, just 1 degree every 72 years, barely noticeable in a lifetime. Detecting it requires continuous observations over centuries, precise angular measurements, advanced mathematics, and careful record-keeping across generations. Bronze Age Sumer should not have had any of that. And yet, somehow, they calculated the precession cycle as 25,920 years. Their planetary observations are even more stunning. The famous Venus tablet tracks the movements of Venus over 21 years with extraordinary precision. Modern astronomers have back-calculated the planets' positions for the era, and the tablet is accurate to within a single day. The Mullepin tablets go even further, containing rising and setting times for stars, planetary periods, eclipse prediction methods, seasonal calendars, and even early forms of weather forecasting based on celestial patterns. There are calculations of the synodic periods, the time it takes a planet to return to the same position relative to Earth, match modern values with zero error. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, all recorded with perfect accuracy 4,000 years ago. Their eclipse prediction system, the Saros cycle, is still used by astronomers today. They predicted eclipses decades in advance with 95% accuracy and understood that lunar eclipses were caused by Earth's shadow, not by supernatural beings. Some tablets even hint that they understood the sun was at the center and that the planets moved around it, an idea supposedly discovered by Copernicus for millennia later. Their cosmology described multiple layers of heaven, the firmament, distant waters, and the cosmic abyss, concepts that some interpret as early attempts to describe orbital mechanics, the outer solar system, or even regions beyond Neptune. And then there is Nibiru, the mysterious 12th planet with a 3,600-year orbit. One famous cylinder seal appears to show the sun surrounded by 12 distinct objects, including an additional large planet. Mainstream scholars dismiss it as symbolic. Alternative researchers see it as an accurate map of the solar system. The tablets also describe planetary characteristics with eerie accuracy. Mars is red, Jupiter is great, Saturn has a crown or ears, just like early telescopic drawings showing the planet's rings as strange handles. Even more astonishing, they describe Jupiter as having 4 companions, 4 moons, supposedly discovered by Galileo in 1610 with a telescope. The Sumerians wrote about them 4,000 years earlier. They identified the asteroid belt as well, calling it the hammered bracelet between Mars and Jupiter. Their own creation myth claims it was formed when a wandering planet collided with another world called Tiamat. Modern planetary science now proposes the giant impact hypothesis, a collision that formed the Earth and Moon, a theory confirmed only in the late 20th century, but eerily similar to the Sumerian account. They even attempted to calculate cosmic distances using a unit called the Ber. Their distance ratio between Earth, the Moon, and the Sun is not correct by modern values, but the fact that they attempted large-scale cosmic measurement at all is extraordinary. They classified stars by brightness into 6 magnitudes, a system attributed to Hipparchus thousands of years later. They understood that stars lie at vastly different distances, not attached to a single celestial dome, and described the Milky Way as composed of countless distant stars, something modern astronomy did not confirm until the invention of the telescope. Their calendar system was astonishingly precise. They tracked the discrepancy between the lunar year and the solar year and added an extra month every few years to keep their seasons synchronized, the same principle behind the leap year. Their ziggurats functioned as observatories, aligned with solstice and equinox points, key stars, and planetary conjunctions. They used gnomons for solar tracking, water clocks for precise time measurement, and sighting instruments for angular observations. Their water clocks could measure time within minutes, essential for the accuracy seen in their astronomical tables. They knew the seasons were caused by Earth's axial tilt, not the distance from the sun, a concept most of the world would not rediscover until the Renaissance. They recorded meteor showers such as the Perseids, Leonids, and Geminids, recognizing them as recurring events rather than omens. Their comet observations include dates, pads, brightness changes, and duration detailed enough for modern astronomers to match some entries to known comets, including possible early sightings of Halley's Comet. And so the question becomes unavoidable. How did a Bronze Age civilization acquire astronomical knowledge that requires centuries of continuous observation, strong mathematical foundations, precise instruments, and institutions capable of preserving data across generations? The Sumerians appeared suddenly, around 4500 BCE, with this knowledge already fully formed. There is no archaeological record of gradual development, no earlier cultures showing the stepping stones that should exist. The Sumerians themselves always gave the same answer. Their tablets say the Anunnaki taught humanity how to read the heavens. They say the gods showed them how to track the movements of the wandering stars, how to predict eclipses, how to calculate the great cosmic cycle. They said this knowledge was given, not discovered. Modern scholars, no matter how skeptical, now acknowledge the sophistication of these ancient records. Some admit the mathematics is more advanced than anyone imagined for the time. Others argue the data implies observational methods that should not have been possible without instruments we have never found. And yet the Sumerians' explanations point to a more controversial possibility, one that reaches far beyond archaeology, astronomy, or history. Because according to the ancient records, the ultimate evidence of their cosmic teachers isn't in the stars, it's in us. Chapter 9. The DNA Evidence. In 2003, when the Human Genome Project finished mapping human DNA, scientists expected straightforward evolutionary patterns, but what they found instead shocked geneticists around the world. Our genome contains between 20 and 25,000 genes, and about 99% are shared with chimpanzees. But the remaining 1%, about 223 genes, has no evolutionary history, no gradual development, and no known origin in any primate lineage. A 2001 Nature study reported that these genes appear to have been borrowed from bacteria through horizontal gene transfer, a process common in microorganisms but virtually impossible in complex mammals. These genes influence advanced cognitive functions, language, reasoning, self-awareness, and abstract thinking, and they appear subtly in the human line without any transitional forms. The FOXP2 gene, known as the language gene, emerges fully formed in humans with 2 unique mutations, not found in any other primate, and spreads rapidly through the entire population about 200,000 years ago. HAR1, which controls brain development, remained nearly unchanged across all mammals for 300 million years, and then suddenly mutates 18 times in a brief window separating humans from chimps. Statistically, the chances of this happening naturally are nearly zero. Even more mysterious is human chromosome 2, which appears to be a recent fusion of 2 ancestral primate chromosomes. All great apes have 24 pairs of chromosomes, but humans have 23, and chromosome 2 contains telomeres, structures normally found at the ends of chromosomes right in the middle, along with 2 centromeres, proving it was once 2 separate chromosomes. Chromosomal fusions should cause severe defects or be lethal. Yet this one not only succeeded but spread through the entire human population and coincided with enhanced cognitive abilities. Geneticists call it the chromosome 2 mystery. And then the ancient Sumerian tablets describe a story that sounds eerily similar. Beings called the Anunnaki, mixing their essence with that of primitive hominids to create a new species capable of understanding commands, reasoning, and language. A being they called Adamu, cylinder seal, show scenes that look strikingly like laboratory procedures, with figures lying on tables and tall beings performing systematic actions that resemble modern genetic engineering. The tablets even describe the use of 14 birth goddesses to carry hybrid embryos, which mirrors modern surrogacy and IVF techniques developed only in the late 20th century. They describe multiple failed attempts, beings who could not speak, beings who could not move properly, beings who could not reproduce exactly what one would expect in early genetic experimentation. Modern genetic research shows that all humans today descend from a single maternal ancestor, mitochondrial Eve, who lived between 150 and 200,000 years ago, and from a single paternal ancestor, Y-chromosomal Adam, dated between 200 and 300,000 years ago. These dates align with the window in which the Sumerian tablets say the Anunnaki created modern humans. Genetic evidence also reveals a severe population bottleneck around 70,000 years ago, with humanity reduced to perhaps 10,000 individuals, matching ancient flood narratives from Sumerian, Babylonian, and biblical traditions that describe a near-extinction event followed by rapid repopulation. We also know modern humans interbred with Neanderthals and Denisovans, just as the tablets describe multiple kinds of primitive workers inhabiting the land before the Anunnaki altered them. Around 50,000 years ago, humans experienced a sudden cognitive explosion. Symbolic art, complex tools, advanced language, and social organization emerged abruptly with no clear evolutionary lead-up, a moment archaeologists call the Upper Paleolithic Revolution. Two brain-related genes, ASBM and microcephaly, show signs of recent positive selection within the last few thousand to tens of thousands of years, spreading far faster than natural migration patterns would predict. Despite spreading across every continent, humans display remarkably low genetic diversity, far lower than chimpanzees confined to a single region, implying a recent founder effect consistent with a small, genetically engineered starting population. Even our so-called junk DNA, once thought to be meaningless, was revealed by the 2012 ENCODE project to be deeply functional, operating as a vast control system of regulatory switches, epigenetic markers, and dormant programs. Some endogenous retroviruses embedded in our genome appear in identical locations across all humans, a pattern more consistent with intentional insertion than random infection. Humans also have unusually long telomeres compared to similar primates, structures linked to lifespan and cellular aging. Intriguingly, ancient texts like the Sumerian king list and biblical genealogies describe rulers and patriarchs living for hundreds or even thousands of years, with lifespans gradually decreasing over generations, exactly what you would expect from hybrid offspring whose enhanced longevity diluted over time. Even the Rh-negative blood type is a biological anomaly, appearing suddenly without an evolutionary path and causing pregnancy complications as if representing partial incompatibility between two different species. Many ancient civilizations obsessed over pure bloodlines, preserving unusual traits that parallel the Sumerian emphasis on maintaining divine genetic heritage. Today, with CRISPR, humanity has finally reached the point where we can edit genes, create hybrids, alter traits, and debate the ethics of modifying future generations. The same debates the Sumerian tablets, ascribed between Enki and Enlil 6,000 years ago about whether it was right to create a new intelligent species. In 2018, the first gene-edited human babies were born, triggering global controversy almost identical to the ancient accounts of divine disagreement. DNA itself is the most advanced information storage system in the universe, able to hold hundreds of petabytes in a single gram. And scientists have already encoded digital books and videos into DNA strands. Some researchers argue that patterns within human DNA, mathematical symmetries, prime number distributions, or Fibonacci structures may not be natural. Mainstream science dismisses these claims, but the idea persists. If an advanced civilization engineered us, our DNA might contain their signature, their history, or even their messages. Throughout nature, instincts prove that genetic memory exists. Birds know how to build nests. Salmon know how to return home. Spiders weave perfect webs, all encoded in DNA. Humans too show universal instinctive behaviors, innate language acquisition abilities, and archetypal symbols that appear across cultures, suggesting some form of inherited psychological structure. Carl Jung called this the collective unconscious, but perhaps it is something encoded more literally, deep within our genome. Throughout history, certain individuals seem to access extraordinary knowledge without being taught, and some propose this may be dormant genetic programs activating spontaneously. Ultimately, the DNA evidence presents three possibilities: that the extraordinary anomalies in human genetics are coincidences of natural evolution, that ancient humans possessed advanced genetic knowledge we have forgotten, or that the Sumerian tablets are telling a literal truth that we were engineered. Mainstream science chooses coincidence, alternative researchers choose intervention, and others choose lost knowledge. But the deeper we look, the more the evidence refuses to fit neatly into any single explanation. Across genetics, archaeology, mythology, and anthropology, the same pattern repeats: a sudden appearance of modern humans, a sudden leap in intelligence, and ancient records insisting that this transformation was intentional. And perhaps the most astonishing idea is also the simplest: we do not need to search the skies for evidence of our creators. because the proof, if it exists, is already inside us. Our DNA may be the ultimate artifact, the oldest record of our origins, waiting for us to finally understand what it has been trying to tell us all along. Chapter 10. The implications. So what does all this mean? After examining ancient texts that describe advanced beings from the sky, astronomical knowledge impossible for their era, architectural precision beyond their supposed tools, genetic anomalies with no evolutionary explanation, consistent stories across cultures separated by oceans, and mathematical and scientific knowledge that vanished and was only recently rediscovered, we arrive at three possible conclusions. The first is pure mythology, the idea that ancient people simply invented elaborate stories to explain their world, that all similarities are coincidence, and that all achievements were accomplished with primitive tools through methods we haven't yet uncovered. But this explanation fails to address the genetic anomalies, the astronomical precision, the architectural impossibilities, and the sheer number of coincidences it demands. The second possibility is a lost advanced human civilization that existed before recorded history, reached remarkable technological heights, and was destroyed perhaps by the younger Dryas, impact leaving behind survivors who carried fragments of knowledge into the future. But this theory lacks definitive archaeological evidence, offers no explanation for the genetic anomalies, and struggles to explain why knowledge was lost so completely or why nearly every ancient culture tells the same sky god story. The third possibility is ancient astron intervention, the idea that advanced extraterrestrial beings visited Earth, genetically modified existing hominids to create modern humans, taught civilization, and left, with their actions preserved as mythology. Yet this explanation requires accepting a radical shift in scientific paradigms, explaining why they left, and acknowledging that mainstream archaeology may be fundamentally incomplete. None of these explanations alone fits all the evidence, so perhaps the truth is a combination. Mythology preserving real events, lost human knowledge, and external intervention woven together into the story of our origins. Throughout history, revolutionary ideas have always been dismissed before they were accepted: heliocentrism, continental drift, germ theory, relativity, quantum mechanics, and each of these paradigm shifts was ridiculed before reshaping our understanding of reality. Today's paradigm insists that humans evolved naturally over millions of years, that civilization began only 10,000 years ago, and that ancient people were primitive and superstitious. Yet evidence increasingly challenges this narrative. Göbekli Tepe, at 11,600 years old, required sophisticated planning and organization. Gunung Padang may be over 20,000 years old. Underwater structures off Japan, India, and Cuba suggest civilizations older than the end of the last ice age. Precision engineering at Pumapong Kusaksiwaman and the Egyptian pyramids demonstrates capabilities we still struggle to replicate. Ancient cultures possessed advanced knowledge of precession, planetary orbits, mathematics, genetics, and astronomy that appears far ahead of their time. Yet the archaeological establishment resists reconsidering the timeline, with academics risking their careers for proposing alternative theories and research funding favoring conventional interpretations. This resistance isn't conspiracy, it's institutional inertia. But what if the Sumerian tablets are literally true? The implications would be staggering. We are not alone. We never were, and advanced beings have visited Earth. We may be a hybrid species, created through intentional design, raising profound questions about identity, purpose, and destiny. If they left, they could return. And the tablet suggests a 3,600-year orbital cycle that places a possible return in our present era. Religion and science might not be at odds, but instead describing the same events from different perspectives. Our purpose might be designed. Our technological progress may be rediscovery rather than invention. And we may be approaching the same level of capability as those who shaped us. Skeptics argue that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, but the evidence exists. The real question is whether we are willing to examine it without prejudice. The scientific method demands investigation, not dismissal. What are we afraid of? Discovering that our history is incomplete, that we are not in control, or that our origins are far stranger than we imagined. The next generation deserves the truth, and modern technology gives us the tools to uncover it: DNA sequencing, satellite archaeology, ground-penetrating radar, advanced dating methods, and computational analysis. New discoveries are accelerating, pushing the timeline of civilization further back with each passing year. A paradigm shift may be approaching. And on a personal level, if we were created, if we are not alone, if contact is possible or even imminent, how does this change your worldview? Are we living up to our potential, honoring or wasting our inheritance, ready or unprepared for their return? Humanity has achieved extraordinary things: exploring space, decoding DNA, creating global communication, building art and science. Yet we have also waged endless wars, damaged the planet, created weapons capable of annihilation, and forgotten our origins. We stand at a crossroads: continue denying the evidence, or investigate our origins with open minds and rigorous methods. The Sumerian tablets wait in museums. Our DNA carries clues within every one of us. The ancient structures stand as monuments to forgotten knowledge, and the stars hold answers to where they came from. This isn't about belief, but investigation. Not about religion, but history. Not about aliens, but us, who we are and where we came from. And ultimately, it leads to the most important question humanity has ever faced. Are we alone in the universe, or are we the children of the stars? The tablets suggest the answer was written thousands of years ago. We are only now learning how to read it. After journeying through 6,000 years of human history, we've examined evidence that challenges everything we think we know about our origins. The ancient Sumerian tablets describe beings who descended from the sky, masters of genetic engineering, astronomy, mathematics, and technology, who shaped early civilization and followed a mysterious cycle through the stars. And when we compare their words with the physical world, they left behind genetic anomalies with no evolutionary explanation, architectural precision that shouldn't have been possible with primitive tools, astronomical alignments far beyond their era, mathematical systems lost and rediscovered, and stories repeated across cultures that never knew each other. We are left with a question that refuses to disappear. Now the choice is yours. You can dismiss all of this as myth and coincidence. You can investigate it and form your own conclusions, or you can simply remain open, watching as new technologies uncover truths once thought impossible. There is no wrong choice. Yet, we must remember that throughout history, every revolutionary truth was first called heresy. Galileo was punished for claiming Earth orbits the Sun. Wegener was ridiculed for proposing continental drift, and Semmelweis was mocked for suggesting doctors wash their hands. They were right. The establishment was wrong. So we must ask ourselves, what if we are standing at that same moment again? What if the ancient texts were never metaphorical? What if we were never alone? And what if the ones who once came from the heavens are destined to return? The Sumerians looked at the stars and wrote, "From the heavens they came, to the heavens they returned. In the appointed time, they shall come again. Those who know shall prepare. Those who remember shall recognize them. Those who understand shall welcome them." Today we look at the same stars, asking, are we ready? Do we remember? Do we understand? The truth exists in ancient stone, in our DNA, in impossible structures, and in the night sky, but it may also exist within us, encoded in our very cells, waiting to be remembered. We are the evidence. We are the experiment. We are the legacy of the Anunnaki, whether we accept it or not. The Sumerians left us a message carved in tablets, written in the stars, and hidden in our biology. They told us who we are, where we came from, and why we're here. They told us we're not alone. They told us they would return. So the question is not whether the message is real. The question is, are we ready to hear it? The truth is not what we've been told. The truth is what we've forgotten. And now, at last, we're beginning to remember. Continue your investigation. Research the sources. Examine the evidence. Question everything. Seek truth, not comfort. Because one day, just as they came from the stars and we came from them, we too will return to the stars, and perhaps then we will finally understand.